This is a 2017 Fiat Tipo, which I believe is a bit of a bargain. It competes on size with the Volkswagen Golf and the Ford Focus, yet 2017 model, 4 years old, 20,000 miles, under £8,000. If you wanted to buy a Volkswagen Golf of similar age and mileage, with anywhere near the level of kit this thing has, you're looking at least £12,000. There's a £4,000 difference. So why on earth is this thing so cheap? One way they've saved money is by using old technology. On the left we have a Fiat Punto, and on the right we have a Fiat Tipo. Ignore the red Corsa over there, that's not part of this video. If I walk closer to the wheels, you'll see that they do line up with each other rather conveniently. The Tipo's wheels are bigger, but they do share the same underpinnings, and when you use old technology, you can save significantly on development costs. There's no new technology in the engine department either. There's 3 petrols and 2 diesels with 90 to 120 horsepower, depending on which one you go for. So they're not exactly going to set your hair on fire, but they do an adequate job of moving this thing along. But what's good about having tried and tested old tech is that they've had plenty of time to iron out any of the teething problems to make sure they're reliable. When you sit inside this car, you know why you're paying less. The plastics are very cheap, although this bit up here is okay, and everything is bland. You cannot compare the interior of this car to a Golf. You feel like you're sitting in a much more premium machine in the Volkswagen. However, it is very sturdy and very well laid out and functional. And although this touchscreen looks out of date, it is very easy to use because it has a knob you can turn and press the middle button in when you get to your correct selection, and it's very easy to rest your fingers here and press what you want so that when you go over a bump, you don't end up pressing the wrong thing. You certainly can't complain about the standard level of kit that's on offer. This top spec lounge model gets dual zone climate control, Bluetooth for your phone, aux in, USB in, sat-nav, DAB radio, reverse sensors, reverse camera, auto lights, auto wipers, cruise control. This one even gets the radar guided cruise control. It keeps you a set distance from the car in front. Don't think that's standard on the lounge model. I think the first owner paid extra for it. But get this, all models come standard with a spare wheel. A car bought in 2017 with a spare wheel as standard. How thoughtful. Getting comfortable is relatively easy, although lifting the lever up to move your seat forwards and backwards is quite hard. It's quite a stretch, and I do have quite long monkey arms. And you can go quite far back, barely reach the clutch, and really close as well, to the point where my knees are banging against the dashboard. Also, you're probably pleased to see that the steering wheel goes up and down and in and out, and the seats are okay. They're not the most comfortable ones, but they're average. This is the car's trump card. This driving seat is in my driving position. I'm 5'10", 178 centimeters, and I'm sitting here in the back with ample knee room. I can literally put both my fists in between my knee and the seat in front, and my feet can go under the seat in front as well, so there's loads of room. That's a little bit comfortable, so I'll push that up. That head restraint, that's better, that's where it should be anyway. Headroom, ample. Ingress and egress to the back is very easy. The doors open at a near 90-degree angle, and the seats are just the right height where you can get in and out very easily, and there's no nasty bits to knock your head on. The boot is an absolute box. Certainly bigger than my Leon. Now I'm going to get driving, see what it's like. Seatbelt on, clutch down first. It's okay, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Very easy to use. Handbrake, nice and light, not too heavy. Gas pedal, a reasonable weight, not too light, not too heavy. Clutch, bite point is very smooth and progressive. Brakes, oh, they're quite nice actually. Not too grabby at the top end. So far, so good. Let's take it out on the road and see what happens. On the road now, and the first thing I notice about this car is just how easy it is to drive. There are slightly different methods of changing gear, like clutch down first or off gas first before you change gear, and how you lift the clutch up. Do you pause on the bite point, come off slowly? Some people come off quickly, and in some cars these things work and in others they don't. But in this car, it seems every method works. I would say you could have 10 hours driving experience and be perfecting your gear changes every time in this car without any jerks at all. Even moving away is really easy. The clutch just seems to have a really good ability of matching its speed with the engine without much effort from the driver. It's very easy to feel where that bite point is. You can come up a little bit higher, it doesn't bite your head off and suddenly lurch forwards. It's very forgiving. Just taking the car to an out-of-town road now, and the steering feels vague. That is where this car's not so intuitive to drive. Kind of feel like this steering's really quite disconnected from the car, so it doesn't fulfill you with confidence in the bends. But then it's not a particularly good car in the bends anyway. You don't buy it for that. The engine, the 120 horsepower, it's a fourth gear pull there from 40 to 55 in no time. Do like the brakes, very easy to rev match. Third gear pull, in third gear, foot flat to the floor. It's not fast, but it's not slow. It's got enough push for everyday driving. Your average driver's going to be quite happy with this. Rides the road relatively well. It does smooth out the bumps. It's not too crashy, but it is a bit bouncy. The rebound's a bit too much. So if you were into driving enthusiastically on country roads, this is definitely not the car for you. And you can really feel that the engine is way out the front there. A lot of weight at the front of the car. But if I'm just taking a nice, gentle, relaxed stroll through a country lane, this does a perfectly good job. I'm going to stop here now and do a quick pull, first and second gear, to see what it's like. Let's go. Okay, easy to pull away quickly, easy to change gear quickly. And there's what, 55 miles an hour? Certainly enough power for everyday driving. One place you're going to struggle to forgive this car are its indicators. Every time you turn them on and off, you feel like you're braking something. Now that would be okay in a BMW, because as all BMW drivers know and understand, is that their BMW takes care of the signalling and they don't have to think about touching the indicator stalk. But for everybody else, having an indicator stalk that doesn't feel quite so excruciating does improve the driving experience. Oh, look at this, how nice. An automatic dimming rear view mirror. Whatever engine you choose to go for, the one that suits you, it's going to be adequate. It's going to give you enough performance, and economy is going to be relatively good. This 1.4 turbo petrol easily achieves 40 to the gallon, and you can get it into the mid 40s when you're on a long run, or so I understand. Something I do like about this car is how relaxing it is to drive, partly because it's so easy to drive, but also because wind noise and road noise, whereas they're not super quiet, they're not loud. It's very easy to get comfortable, and if you just want to get from one place to the other as easy as possible in comfort, this car does a fine job. This car makes a very good used buy. Not only is it very good value, but it should prove to be very reliable, and reliability does become more important as a car ages because it's no longer under warranty, so you're the one who has to foot the bill, and as a car gets older, it's more likely to break down anyway. The reason why I think this car will be reliable is simply because Fiat used all the parts they already had when they built it, so they didn't have to innovate or design anything new. And that's a good thing when it comes to reliability, because it's the new things that normally go wrong. If driving dynamics are not high up on your priority list, but space, practicality, equipment and value, especially value, are, then I think this car wins. If you think the video is helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to get my future videos. Until the next one, cheerio.